There are 5 things which you can say that will instantly make your presentation boring, predictable, and in some cases, painful. My name's Kyle Murter. I'm a public speaking champion, author, and today I'm going to make sure that you never say these 5 things again in a presentation. The first phrase to avoid comes at the start of your presentation. It's saying something like, good morning, good afternoon, good day. Now, why is that a problem? It's a problem because the start of your presentation is one of the most important parts. It's where the audience literally decide whether they're going to listen or not. And by starting with good morning, you now sound like every other presentation in history. What you want to do instead is start with a hook. Give the audience a reason to listen to your presentation. One of the easiest things to do is to start with a question related to your topic. For example, if I was doing a presentation on water, I could start by asking, how many bottles of water do you think are consumed a day worldwide? That would get the audience involved, they'd maybe guess a little bit, and then they would be more engaged and interested in what I have to say next. The second phrase to avoid is, can you hear me at the back? This is so painfully common. How many times when we were in school, college, or even in work have we heard this? The person asks, can you hear me back there? And then we have to take a few seconds for them to nod at the back and then for the guy to continue on. It wastes the audience's time. Instead, before your audience arrive, test out the acoustics of the room by getting a friend or a colleague to sit at the back and then practice delivering your presentation. And then that colleague will be able to tell you if they can hear you or not, and you can adjust your voice before your audience arrive. That way, the time you have with the audience is spent on delivering your message and not checking if they can hear you. By the way, if you're wondering how good your speaking is, I've created a free online quiz. It only takes 1 minute to complete, but it will give you a full assessment of your speaking skills, what your strengths are, and where you can improve. If you're interested in that, I'll leave the link to it below. Phrase number 3. Just ignore this part of the slide. This is said all the time when people have a PowerPoint. They have a PowerPoint slide that is packed full of information. There's so many words on it, it looks like the Bible. But they say, ignore 70% of those words and just focus on this area. Why are the other 70 words there then? The key to avoid saying this is by planning your slides effectively in advance. Make sure there is only key information on your slide. If it's not relevant to the audience, delete it from your slide. It should only be the essential information that they need to see. That way, when you do show a slide, you don't have to tell people to focus on a specific part. Phrase number 4. Oh, I've lost my place. Look, this can happen to anyone. Anyone's mind can go blank during a presentation. It's happened to me several times in the past as well. But the key is not to let the audience know it has happened. Because often when we say, oh, I've lost my place, that's when we look really nervous, that's when we become extremely anxious, and that's when the audience lose trust in us. So when you do go blank, what you should do instead is just pause. Give yourself some time to get back on track. You see, when you create time for yourself, you're far more likely to find your train of thought. So find a method which is good for you for creating time. Maybe it is taking a pause. Maybe it's taking a drink of that water. Maybe it's asking the audience a question. Either way, do something to create time for yourself. Do not say, oh, I've lost my place. Instead, create the time and you'll find that you'll get back on track. Again, if you'd like a score as to how good your speaking is, take my quiz in the link below. It's free. Number 5, thank you for listening. This one obviously comes at the end of a presentation, and it is probably the worst way you could end. You see, endings are important, Because what is said last will last with your audience. So you want to make your final words count. And in most presentations, the best way to do this is with a call to action, encouraging your audience to do something with the information you've shared. Now, that could be getting them to think in a different way, to sign up for something, to do something differently when you're at work. But you want to give them an action of some kind. Because ending with, thanks for listening, is vanilla. It's boring. It's going to have no impact on your audience. But if you end with a clear call to action of what you want them to do next, they're far more likely to make some form of positive change in their lives. And if you want some more help on how to come up with a compelling ending, check out this short video I made on how to write a speech in just 5 minutes. It will help you come up with a call to action, a hook for the start, and what to say in the middle. Check it out now and begin writing your next speech.